good morning, and happy day 2 of Dia de los Muertos. I'm back! Welcome, welcome, my little loves. Guess what, folks? When you get more than, oh, let's see. Oh, that came out a little bit. I don't know if that'll be covered up. Never mind. I had a delightful idea for how you will notice. One of the points when I woke up, last night before I went to bed, this was one of the points when I woke up in the night, I proceeded to determine quite what colours I sort of wanted to be going on here. But now I'm like, wait a second. There's supposed to be a colour here. Wait, no, you go there. And you go here. Oh, and orange goes there. No, that's not, where's the orange? Oh, was I not? I thought I was doing that. Well, cool. Two goes go. Anyway, I've made life decisions that I'm now trying to remember. But anyway, quite delightful. Yeah, I don't know if those are going to work. I think I'm going to have to do these. That won't work. But those, I don't think that's going to cover that up too well. Okay, because yeah, I'm going to paint the bottom of them green, but then I'm going to alternate the tops of them to be these so that they'll alternate with the little hearts on the front of the doors. So yeah, I never got back to painting this yesterday because yesterday was just kind of hard, and that's okay because sometimes days are hard. It's not preferable, but it's okay. We manage through it. We manage through such days. Anyway, so remember, if you've seen the part 1 of this, totally fine if you haven't, not exactly critical. But yeah, if you happen to see the first Dia de los Muertos video that I did for this channel, you will know that I got, like 3 hours of sleep the night before last, which is, suboptimal, but minor details. And like I mentioned on that video that I might end up, oh, this brush didn't, it dried sort of, oh yeah, that's right, because I didn't wash the brushes. Well, it's okay. I can live with that. Yeah, I gotten like 3 hours of sleep the night before, which is, as we say, suboptimal. So I stopped the last video because I could hear that my husband was getting up and he was getting ready to go to work, and I was like, I want to be there when my boo gets up and gets ready and goes to work. And so I did that, and then I was like, okay, I'll go back and finish the rest. And I was like, no. Computer says no. That was not going to happen. And so, yeah, we just rolled with that not being one of the options. Because it was just, I'm telling you, gang, it was just not one of the options. It would have required thinking, a dangerous pastime, I know. Meanwhile, I rested a lot yesterday, never ended up sleeping, and by rested, I mean I did weird, like, little puttery projects, like, on my phone, like, over-organized my YouTube playlists. So yeah, the obsessive compulsive tendencies definitely tend to, well, here's the thing. The obsessive tendencies really come out when the more tired I am, which makes sense because it's when my body and soul are in a more weakened condition. Meanwhile, oh yeah, I want to do that on the inside. Meanwhile, that's not to say that I actually like super did compulsions yesterday, because I kept that in mind, and well, this little nightgown dress is now got yellow spots on it. How fortunate that it is a house dress. That's annoying. I really probably, if I'm gonna do like painting projects and whatever, could stand to get an art smock or something. But then that would be hot. Oh well. This is I'd be so hot, gang. No, not what I was meaning. Slay. I meant it be like toasty. I'm like those in the rich movies, not rich movies, but the movies about rich people where they're like blah, 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 with their fingers in the water, which honestly just seems a little like rich folks being like, oh yeah, no, we can't play around and do, you know, silly things like that. I'm rich, fancy, but yes, I'm going to eat finger foods, and then I'm going to blah, 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 with my fingers in the water, because that's not something that my inner toddler would take delight in at all. No. This is very, very fancy. Anyway, so though yesterday I was definitely dealing with some obsession struggles, my brain just kind of looping around some kind of negative stuff. Part of how I dealt with that was I leaned into some little fidgety organizing stuff on my phone, like in my little notes app, organizing all my notes, and like I say, organizing my little YouTube playlists and all kinds of things and stuff like that there. Now, while I was doing this, I kept very aware, because I was like, you know, if at any point, because I do like organizing, but here's the thing, it is a compulsion that my brain can tend to use when my brain is getting stuck in obsessions. And so you can tell the difference of whether or not you're doing something for fun, or whether or not you're doing it. Now let's open things over here. Yes, very good, very good. You can tell whether or not your brain is doing something compulsively versus just for funsies, is whether or not you're having fun while doing it. You know, like if you're doing something and enjoying it, that's not a compulsion, folks. If you're doing something compulsively, it means that you feel like you have to do it no matter what, and if you stop, something terrible is going to happen, and or you're going to have to think about the terrible thoughts that are in your mind, and so you have to distract yourself, and oh my gosh, right? So, was there some obsession going on yesterday? Yes. Was I handling it a little compulsively? Yes, but not in the way you might think. The compulsion that I was indulging in was not the organizing, because again, obsessive compulsive disorder is so much less about liking things orderly, and so much more about the fact that your brain does not have a pause button for unpleasant thoughts, or and can't really process like uncomfortable feelings very well. Not that anybody really can. You know, they're called uncomfortable feelings for a reason, but people with obsessive compulsive disorder, our brains just like super, oh dang, I think I'm doing this video wrong. We'll figure that out later. I meant the perspective of it, but that's okay. Meanwhile, I continue to not be fully careful in how I'm taking the lids off, but at least this was not super close to me. Meanwhile, what I was actually doing yesterday that was compulsive was trying to not think much. It was not the ordering things on my phone and on my YouTube account and everything. It was why I was doing it, which was, one, because it was kind of a fun, twitchy thing to do. But also, two, if I did that and used enough of my brain cells to focus on that, not that I had a ton of them working yesterday, then I didn't have brain cells left to focus on any of the existential stuff that my brain was wigging out about yesterday, because I didn't get enough sleep. Which, why do we say it like I didn't get enough sleep? Like that's anything that we have control over. Like, if we, to say I didn't sleep enough, that's one thing, and that does happen. But like, my brain did not allow me to sleep. Partly because I was exhausted, and so, the more it went off down the tangents of that I started obsessing over, I couldn't relax enough to get to sleep. So anyway, there were compounding factors. And I couldn't, control my brain enough to focus enough on chill things to be able to get back to sleep because I was so tired. So it was kind of a cruel cycle. But it's all good because I didn't end up engaging in any compulsions that ended up hurting me. And though I did practice the compulsion of avoidance a bit, that's okay because it was better than going with the compulsion of negative downward spiraling in my head about myself and all the things. So, there were cons, but there were some pros to how I handled yesterday. And you know what? We're going to give me grace for literally doing the best I could with it. Meanwhile, then, yesterday, my husband came home, and we had just such a nice evening. Oh, and I did end up canceling the event thing that I had that I was a little worried about being a little too much for me yesterday. It wasn't an event, it was like a friend thing. And I did cancel it because I realized that I was too tired to be able to use the kind of energy that I would have had to mask in front of the humans that I would have been spending time with. And the end. And so could I have gone and used up energy in masking? Yes, I could have. But would that have been nice to me? No, it would not have been. And so we elected to ignore that option. I realize the council has made a decision, but seeing as how it was a stupid decision, I have elected to ignore it. A YouTube modified version of Samuel Jackson's iconic line from the Avengers movie. Is that the Avengers movie, or is that Winter Soldier? I don't know. Anyway, if you celebrate Dia de los Muertos, I hope you are having just a most lovely day 2 of the festivities. If you don't, I hope that you're having a lovely day. And also that, if you don't, and these videos are in some sort of way the tiniest bit of an intro to the loveliness that is this holiday and all that it represents, that's amazing. Go, find out more. Oh, because there's brown on the sides, and that's what's getting onto the green. Okay, I'm understanding what's happening now. All of the cylinders are engaged in functioning. I'm not going to guarantee how well, but you know what? Now we've got all of the cylinders of the engine going vroom, vroom. I was just like, where's the brown coming from? Oh, you mean the brown that's on the side and isn't apparently dried? That brown? Shall we wonder where the brown is coming from? Or shall we use our brain to cogitate upon the possibilities of past choices affecting present reality? Just a thought. Nothing that we have to do. Oh, hello. But it would be something fun to do. And as I always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Cogsworth in the original, Beauty and the Beast. So anyway, yeah. So my husband came home, and I was able to connect with him, and we visited, and he got to have fun nerding out with me over League of Legends, because apparently League of Legends Worlds is going on, and my husband plays League of Legends, and resultantly shares cool cinematics of it with me for like new songs and whatever that he thinks I'll like. And then lets me know, or because I don't always think to ask because I forget. But anyway, he'll be like, "What else is going on? Oh, amazing! What's going on with Worlds?" And so apparently, so much is going on with Worlds, gang. Like, just oh my goodness, Worlds is happening. Ooh, I have tea. I forgot I had tea going on over here. Tea time, tea time. Tea break. So he chatted happily about that, and I had fun listening. And then, oh yeah, also I separated all these last night, or yesterday, whenever I did that. Oh, it's a pretty blue. It's a real pretty blue. So yeah, got to get updated about Worlds, and it was a big surprise. I will give no spoilers. Oh, that was probably a spoiler. Oh well. The overlap of, anybody watching this, and being also someone that does anything else isn't incredibly high because there's not a huge amount of probability of anybody watching this. Meanwhile, at least, like, within the time of, that spoiling anything for anybody who watches Worlds. Meanwhile, I got to hear more about how Worlds works, because I knew a little bit about it, and, like, some of the casters, which are, not apparently, D&D mages, but are the newscasters of the event, and apparently they have different ones, both for analyzing the possibilities before pregame, so pregame analytics, in-game announcing, and then post-game analytics. It's like, huh, that's cool. That's a lot more complicated than I would have realized. That I just think newscasting, newscasting, yes, but like sports newscasters, like, that's a really difficult job, in my opinion, to be able to think that fast, talk that fast, have that much understanding of the gameplay and everything. So I already, of course, tip my hat to any announcers for whatever, competition. Very impressive. But then, like, wow, so the different approaches of it are complicated enough that you really need, like, multiple people to do this job. I'm like, dang. Very impressive. Very beautiful. Very powerful. So, yeah, he was sharing with me all about that, so that was fun. We bonded, and then I took a nice hot shower, and then did I eat? Yeah, I ate. I made myself French toast. And anyway, we had a nice chill time, and I got so nice and relaxed that I ended up, like, going to sleep at 8 something, and then I slept for like 4 hours, and then I got up and I chatted with him, and I think that's when I did the organizing for this. And then I went back to sleep for like another 3 or 4 hours. I don't know how long. But then it was daylight savings time in most of the US last night, so there's like an extra hour in there. And then I came out and I said hello again, and he was playing a video game, and so I curled up on the couch next to him and apparently dozed off again. So I got like between 8 and 9 hours of sleep last night, folks, and that's just so much more stunning than I wish it was, because it's indicative of how much I struggle with insomnia. Meanwhile, you know what? I'll take it. That's sort of awesome, It's awesome. So yeah, absolutely fabulous. And that's why I have some modicum of energy. And, like, not extreme sadness in my oh, now there's blue all over here. Well, that's okay. We move along. We look over it. So yeah. Hi. Okay. Someday I will learn to do things things differently with opening up these little paint containers. But that day is not today, or so it would appear. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. So how do you paint? Oh, what sort of palette do you prefer to use? Oh, color palette? No. Like the palette upon which you place your paints. Oh, no, I like to use my hand for that. I just sort of dump a bunch of paint on my hand, and then I just scrape it off with a paintbrush, and then put it onto whatever I'm painting. Wow, well, what a creative approach. I know, right? It like really, you know, just really puts the sweat into the blood, sweat, and tears process. Wow, that is not... Okay, cool. We're gonna go interview another painter now. Okay, bye! Come back if you want more weirdness. I'm funny. Oh, hi. That wasn't incredibly what I wanted to happen. We'll pretend I'm funny, okay? Just let me have this. Let me have this. Just let me pretend that I'm funny, okay? Oh, and also, yesterday, I did a bunch of... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't matter, wings to fly. It doesn't actually matter. But anyway, I did a lot of, like, determining of how I'm gonna approach the holiday season with the channel yesterday, while my boo was busy watching, Worlds for League of Legends, as I said. And I figured out a bunch of, oh yeah, no, I figured out my schedule for the holidays. One, I did do what I was thinking I had decided to do, and I will only be uploading one video a day during the holiday season, as I've been, but I figured out how to do it to where I'm still getting to do a whole bunch of different videos about the different holidays. So here in December, from December 14th, well, there will be some like kind of holiday-ish seasonal videos before this, but like starting, but it'll be all like mixy-matchy. But starting on December 14th, which is when Hanukkah begins this year, I will be doing one video every day of all different kinds about Hanukkah, Yule, Pancha, Ganapati, and Kwanzaa. And then, what was it? Oh, yeah. So I looked up, so because Muslim holidays are based on the Islamic lunar calendar, and the moon tends to, you know, switch around a little bit with its approach to things. Well, also, I mean, the moon moves in 28-day cycles, and the Gregorian calendar is ridiculous and doesn't move in 28-day cycles, which is garbage and really bothers me. And in the little fantasy world that I have created and write in, I'm so excited because I've created a 13-month calendar of 28 days, and it's based off of the moon cycles, and I'm just so happy about that because it's very satisfying. The Gregorian calendar annoys me. Meanwhile, so the Islamic lunar calendar is what, actually, the different, is the dates of the different Islamic, or the days of the different Islamic calendar are determined by, which means that per the Gregorian calendar, the dates change every year. So there were no December of 2025 Muslim holidays that I could celebrate. I don't know that I'm not celebrating these different holidays. Yeah, make note of, point out, enjoy a little bit of. And so, it's purple. Is this purple? That's purple, yes. Let's open it over here. So I looked into it, but because there apparently are some 2026 January Muslim holidays. On the 16th is I have the names written down, but as it took me a little bit to learn how to pronounce Panchaganapati, and then remember how, oh my gosh, am I doing it right? Because it's actually been a few days since I checked the pronunciation of that. To be determined. I will double check that. Which is Hindu, by the way. I've forgotten, they're over here in my little folder, but I didn't look up how to pronounce them. But anyway, the holiday on January 16th of 2026 is in celebration of when Muhammad was transported from Mecca to Jerusalem, and he spoke to a lot of prophets. I think it was like 500, an insane amount, very impressive. Public speaking skills. That seems like a lot of people have to talk to me. And then ascended to heaven and received revelation from God. Well, Allah. And so, Allah? I need to check the accent on that. So yeah, so that's cool. And then, well, I mean, that sounded, that's cool. Obviously it's cool. This is an incredible celebration. But it's cool that there was one in January. I was like, please, could there be a Muslim holiday like nearish December? I was checking, I couldn't find. Did I specifically look for one in November? Oh, maybe I should look for one in December, or one in November, because that would be cool too. I just wanted to like include as many major holidays as I could, religions as I could. And so it was just kind of delightful that there were a couple in January of 2026. So there's one on the 16th, whose name I'm not going to attempt, even though I do have it written down over here. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it because I didn't look up how. Oh, actually, my laptop's here. I've got my paint all over my hands. I'll obsess about that at some other time. Meanwhile, and then the month of Shah. Okay, I really want my little, I have my little calendar thingy here. Doesn't matter that there's paint all over my hands, apparently. Yeah. So it's Shaban begins on the 20th of January, which is, Shaban is a holy month in the Muslim religion, which is the one preceding Ramadan. Now, Ramadan is the Islamic sacred month where you fast all day and then break your fast at night with a feast, and then but all day through that month you fast if you're able to, health-wise and everything, which is just incredible. The amount of pious devotion to exhibit that much discipline, because personally fasting is very hard. Well, not personally, fasting is very hard. Fasting is very hard, period. But anyway, Shaban is the month before that, which is like a month of like preparation and everything for the month of Ramadan. So I'm gonna do a little something on both those days. There wasn't any like long ones. So, but I'm gonna I want to do one on the first day of each of the Islamic holy months. So Ramadan, and then the one after that. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited. Okay. Oh wait. Oh, I can do front and back. Okay. Oh, and we're already going outside the lines. This is fine. We are not worried about that at all. Are we? Okay, a little bit. Maybe I'll be able to with the... Oh, maybe I should have been doing this with... There's a lot of little holes here. This isn't... Maybe this is going a little differently than I saw in my mind. I was like, I'll just paint the skull part white. Well, one, it's hardly showing up. Or is it just my lighting? It might just be my lighting. Is it showing up, gang? Can you see it being white? Also, has my head been in the way this whole time? I really hope not. That would be very, very annoying. Oh, that would be cool. I could do one side with a white skull and the black background that I was going to do, but then the other side with a black skull and a white background. I love this plan. Beautiful plan. Let us proceed with plan. So excited for plan. Don't know why we went Russian all of a sudden while we are painting. shadow box for ofrenda for Mexican holiday. Well, it's not a Mexican holiday. It's not precisely a Catholic holiday. It is a holiday which is predominantly celebrated in Mexico. So, yeah. Because I double checked with one of my friends when I came back last year from that little cruise that my husband and I got to go on with his family. Again, it wasn't a little cruise. It was like a whole week long. It was amazing. I was just so excited about all I'd learned about Day of the Dead and had been enjoying it just so much. And I just really, really, really wanted to talk and bond with somebody about it. And I was like, oh, I know someone at work who is my friend, and she is Mexican American. I am sure she will not mind, nerding out with me about Day of the Dead. Because I needed to nerd out with someone about it. It was a need. Well, obviously not if she had not. Well, okay, so I really wanted to find someone to nerd out about with it, but obviously if she hadn't wanted to nerd out about it, I wouldn't have nerded out about it with her. But she was totally fine with it, of course, because she's very nice. Not that she would have been not nice if she hadn't wanted to nerd out about it. Okay, moving on. I'm getting stuck in Obsessionville. But yeah, no, she was really sweet. I was like, okay, sure. Let's nerd out about Dia de los Muertos, little white girl. Not that that's what she said, but I just imagine in my head I don't know, it just seems kind of cute in a weird little way, this little, little white girl running up. I learned about Dia de los Muertos. Can I nerd out about it with you, please? Sure. Why not, little friend? Why not? So anyway, she was very sweet, very gracious to weird, nerdy little me. And so we were talking about it, and I was like, so just double checking. Is this one of those holidays where, like, it's cool for someone who is not, like, is this specifically a religious holiday? Or, like, someone who is, not, like, is this a Catholic holiday? Or is this more of, like Mexican culture's more sort of holiday? And I can't remember exactly how she answered, but it was basically, she was like, oh, anybody can celebrate Day of the Dead. And I was like, oh, sweet. So part of why I am doing Day of the Dead themed content here is because of a lovely human I know who said that it was fine. And I haven't seen her in a bit. She wonderfully went and got a new job because, big surprise, at the place where I work, she was being treated disrespectfully. Was it racism? Was it sexism? Was it both of the above? We have our opinions. We have our opinions, folks. And that's part of why I hate where I work. But it's okay, because I have a plan. I hate people that are mean. I tried to, I'd go up and check in with her, and I had meetings with HR because she was, well, there was a lot going on. Reasons why, anyway. So, I and others, and of course she, we made life choices to combat the stupid people. And then she was like, you know what, I'm done, deuces. And I was very proud of her for that. So now she's much happier in a much better place. We are glad of that. Which is why I haven't seen her in a bit. I need to text her. How you doing, girlfriend? It's been a hot second. Let's try a little bit more of that white paint. But this time with the ouch. Sometimes my wrists don't love the life choices I make. This time we'll do it with this little brush and see if that helps us a little bit more with this. All these little. See, now it looks a little more white. See, we just need to get a little bit of primer going on. Nope, it does not look more white. Does it look more white on here, folks? I want the contrast to be there. Ew. That's a little bit of dried paint from the cap. Oh, well. I wonder if I can scrape it off. Oh, wow, this is going very well. And by very well, I mean suboptimal. Ha! Put it on the rag. So as I talked to someone about yesterday and would like to talk about a little bit more today, I really love the concept of Dia de los Muertos, because I think, as I said yesterday, it's not only a beautiful way, of course, of honoring those who have passed on, but I think it's a way of making things a little less gloomy about the oncoming prospect of death that awaits us all for those who are still here. As a child who was terrified of dying young and would have long prayers at night about that, because I have obsessive compulsive disorder, and that's how a lot of children with obsessive compulsive disorder handle the things about this world that they're scared of. Well, a lot of people. It's not just children that pray compulsively. It's just many children who prayed compulsively as a means of protection and help for them and their families and the world and everybody who ever needed help or was scared or struggling in any way. Because yes, I stressed about all that very much as a child. Some of us who dealt with that grew up and are diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. Do with that information what you will. So, yeah, little me was very scared of the idea of dying, of my loved ones dying, and it's still obviously a prospect that holds, sadness for me. Well, I was trying to trying to fix it, and I feel like I messed it up. And that isn't a metaphor for a lot of things in this world. But I was trying to fix it. Did they want you to fix it? Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't ask them. Why didn't you ask them? Consent is a great thing. Hold on. Gotta blow the nose. Oh, so dainty. Done off camera. No one will ever know. It is okay to continue painting without washing my hands because, one, I don't want to get up and wash my hands right now. And therefore, it's okay to not do that right now. And two, this is all just for me. This is all just my stuff. It's okay. Nobody else is going to be touching this, and I'm not going to contaminate anybody. No, I'm not dealing with any contamination, OCD fears. Are you serious? What are you talking about? I'm talking crazy over here. You're not. That is exactly what's going on. But if we talk about what's going on, then it helps us to not engage in the compulsion of running off. Okay, you know what? I give up. I don't think that the skull is going to look quite how I want it there. And I'm just going to proceed with my life, because you know what? Why not proceed with life? I don't know why now we're doing Gru. Well, Gru is kind of Russian. We're already doing Russian, so. Anyway, move along. All right, what was my wily plan for this? Yeah, I was thinking of doing an orange flower and a light blue flower, but I think the orange is going to show up better on the blue, and the light blue will show up better on the pink. So let's see. Let's see what we think, huh? Let's see what we think. Yeah, we're doing all kinds of different voices. I was listening to a ASMR artist little Q&A where they were, that's a lot of hair. That is a lot of orange paint. I just want to get it off these lids so that maybe it'll be a little less messy. Where they were talking about how they trained their voice to sound more of a certain way. And you know, they use that voice for their ASMR stuff, and I was like, once again, I'm confronted by the fact that there are human beings who are just so impressive. And I'm over here. Just being, you know, doing like kind of different voices, but mostly not on purpose at all. And I've like practiced different accent. Like they were talking about like practicing this voice that they, or well, it was like a, anyway, I don't explain it. And like the way that they speak on the channel, they had put a lot of practice into, and they'd recorded themselves speaking in this voice. It had taken so much practice, and it had been hard, but they had kept going with it. And this very cool, very inspiring story. And I'm just like, dang, I feel woefully under thought out, because I've never thought to do that. Like even like the different accents or whatever, funny little different voices, like I've never recorded myself doing one and then like played it back to, like, I mean, I've recorded myself doing different voices, but not like in an attempt to like create a different voice for myself to speak in. It was so impressive, and I was like, well, I'm gonna not obsess about the fact that I've never done that. But boy, I'm tempted to. Very impressive. And maybe something that would be cool to do at some point. Not today, but maybe at some point it would be cool to do. Everybody, hold the phone. If you are not holding a phone, pick up a phone and hold it so that you can hold it for me in this moment, okay? Do you understand? Get a phone into your hand and hold that phone, because guys, I think I've mentioned in a ramble before UTC Audios, who is an ASMR channel that I am subscribed to and think is really cool. If I haven't, it might be because I tried to do, it might have, if I haven't, it might have been on that driving one, because I tried doing a driving random Goblin ramble that I ended up just not doing because the audio was really not great with it. And on there I had talked a lot about like the different ASMR channels that like got me into going, oh my gosh, ASMR is so cool, and like introduced me to ASMR. And the first one, it's a long story. I think I've already gone into it somewhere. But anyway, UTC Audios was like one of the, it was the third or fourth channel that I like subscribed to and started listening to of ASMR, because it was Navilis, Shining Armor, and then either Nyx Moon Reads was next or UTC Audio was next. It was one of those two. And just amazing channels. A lot of UTC Audio's ones are a little more like angsty. So some of them are like very much so like Navilis's are they're very like comfort focused. I should say the ones from Navilis ASMR are more comfort focused. The ones from Shining Armor ASMR are more like drama and storyline focused, like different characters and everything. Nyx Moon Reads is kind of a combo of the, not his approach, because it's quite his own, but like his channel is kind of a combination of both of those. He has a lot of comfort ones on the channel, as well as a lot of very character and story themed ones. UTC audios are, he has some that are specifically character and story themed, but most of them are more like the Nablus ASMR ones, where it's like an ASMR roleplay experience, where it's not necessarily super character or story focused, but they're more angsty than comforty in a fair amount of them. He has a lot of comfort ones, but he also has a lot of like angsty ones, which are really good. I think for some of them are really cool, helping people learn what toxic behavior in relationships looks like. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, you go. So yeah, so he does a lot of angsty ones, which means that he really uses his voice a lot for like, it's not, so part of why I really enjoy Nablus ASMR is because he has a wonderfully expressive voice, a very fun and expressive voice, even though what he mostly does is comfort ones. Because some of the ASMR artists who mostly or just do comfort ones have like, they have a really gentle, really sweet voice, but it won't be like incredibly, what's the word I literally just used? Expressive, not maybe super dynamic. And so, what if I did brown for the stems? I don't know if that'll show up particularly well on the blue. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty. I was gonna do green, but like, there are plants where the stems are more brown than green. I want to do like different ones, do kind of different approaches to it. It's that brown and pink, one of my favorite color combos. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, so a fair amount of UTC audios are, like I said, kind of angsty more. And so I haven't listened to as many of those ones, but I've listened to like all his comfort ones and like different storyline ones he's had. And I really enjoy, like, I don't know, I feel like there's a difference between, like there can be a difference between doing ASMR, between being an ASMR artist and being a voice actor. I think that being a voice actor just involves a little bit more, maybe like the dynamics of how you use your voice kind of thing. And I could be making like zero sense at all. And also anybody listening to this could be like, oh my gosh, Wingstafly, you are so wrong. And you know what? Valid. I'm just kind of sharing my opinion. But I've found that I tend to like more of the like voice actor ones, because it's just, it comes across as a little bit more story-ish, which I'm very into stories and all the things. And also, one of the things that I do while listening to ASMR, which I've talked about before, is I do pretend sometimes that it's my husband talking to me, which I've told him about, and he thinks is cute. And again, I'm gonna get some recordings for my birthday or Christmas. I'm very excited about that. And my husband and I both have more dynamic speaking voices and communication. Not dynamic as in yelling, because that's what that can mean sometimes. Expressive, that was the word I wanted. My husband and I both have more expressive ways of talking, and we communicate more like, I don't know, like, I was gonna say lively, but again, that could sound, because I'm not trying to indicate that, because we're not, like, we're like, we're fun. Like, he's fun with me. Well, I mean, he's fun. He's just a fun person, and then I enjoy interacting with him. I don't know that I'm, like, actually fun. But, many people would consider me a stick in the mud. But, okay, that was self-deprecation. Yes, we saw that. We're aware. We're working with it. I like Yes, this is very, very warm. But also, like, I don't know, dark blue to me is less cold than, like, soft. Like, dark blue to me is cozy. This is like a more, like, this is very, oh yeah, like this to me is very like morning sort of doors, and these to me are more like nighttime kind of doors, like twilight and sunset and everything. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Is that McDonald's again? Yeah. Which again I don't really know, or not again. It can't be again because I didn't. Ooh, okay, wait. I could do. Ooh. Let's do purple and green hearts. I like that idea. So yes, UTC Audio, one of the ASMR channels that I enjoy, and he is a voice actor. So somebody that I really admire, how he uses his voice, and also his skill as a storyteller, and all the things. Guys. So the video that aired on Thursday was a little, it's the first audio that I did on the channel that was more of an audio roleplay than an ASMR roleplay, so less like just kind of a relationship interaction and more of like, oh, there's like a story going on here. I think that's what it is. I think that's one of the differences. So it was inspired by one of UTC Audio's videos and one of Odyssey Audio's videos, because they were both about a vampire, and I just thought, like, I thought the story part of UTC Audio's, I thought it was a really interesting concept, and then I really liked the character, especially of Odyssey Audio's ASMR. I always mix up. For that matter, is it UTC ASMR? No, it's UTC Audio's. Yeah. Anyway. And so I kind of took the idea from UTC. I kind of just melded the two concepts, like the story and the like shy little vampire character kind of idea, and then I just kind of like improv'd it. And so, because one, I want to, of course, credit them for, the inspiration that I took from this, and also, just kind of as a little hello to like people in the ASMR community, I tagged them. I think that's what it's called. I'm so good with techie stuff, folks. That's what it's called, right? Is it tagging people? Yes, it's tagging people. I just blanked for a second. So I tagged them, where you do the little @ symbol, and then their YouTube handle name. And I was like, I wonder if they'll ever see that, probably doubtful. I figured that, like, maybe, they might get, like, a notification or something for it. But, these are busy people with busy lives, and especially, like, UTC Audio. Like, he's got a whole, like, I'm pretty sure his channel is, like, there are people who do ASMR for, like me, like a hobby thing, and then there are people who, do their ASMR channels are, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, his job. Like, I think that's what he does. And he must have seen the notification because he left a comment. Guys, I was so stunned. Most of the apps on my phone I do not have notifications set up with, because it's just too much. There's too much notifications going on all the time. Just bing, 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 bing. I don't need this. I don't need it. Thank you very much. And so, like, I don't, generally do I want dot 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 dotting? Or do I want dot dot dotting? I don't have to like do it exactly like I did these, but I kind of like, I want like there to be other, I could try like little swirls, but what do I want on it? What were these ones? Oh, they were red and yellow. Red and purple. Ooh, maybe black. Oh, I could do white ones here and then black ones there. That would be very cool. To me, I don't know if it's actually cool. Like sometimes I say those statements and it's like, I don't know if this is objectively cool, but I like the idea of it. My husband thought that the other thing was pretty. I was like, look what I did. And he was like, oh, that's really pretty, hon. Like, just that was his immediate reaction. Now, he knows that I am very soft and very fluffy and very little, and that being told that things that I've done are pretty, or that, like, I'm cute, or whatever, is just delightful for me and, you know, lovely. And so he's very kind that way. So, and of course, this is, you know, the OCD going, maybe he was just saying that because, you know, doubting. Yeah, OCD being a good way of describing OCD that I heard on the amazing support group for it that I belong to. It's the doubting disease. It just makes us doubt everything that is important to us, you know? And, or doubt that we're good enough. Like if it's important to us to be able to do things, I doubt I can do that, or you know, or it was more like I doubt you can do that, you know, like our brain talking to us. Anyway, very sad. So of course my little brain that has OCD is there going, well, I mean, he could have just been saying that because he knows that you respond well to, you know, positive feedback and encouragement and everything. It's like, you know what? Okay, now this looks like a Dalmatian. I was trying to go for like stars in the night sky and then like the opposite color. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, wings to fly. You're good, you're good, you're good. I forgot, I wanted to do, we're doing good? We're doing good? Yeah. I want to do orange little highlights across the front here. But yeah, I got super sidetracked. UTC audios, guys, he left a comment. It was like, what a wonderful surprise. I hope you enjoy making many more audios, or something, just something like that. Just so gracious, so kind. I cried, it's fine. And then proceeded to like leave the most, probably just, I think it's super fangirly. I don't know. I was like, one, I was the one doing it, so yeah, very animated. And I was trying to like express my surprise that, you know, that he takes the time to do that. Like, guys. Okay, and I'm still fangirling over it a bit. So yeah, that absolutely just, that was really kind of him, you know, like, just one of those, like, moments where, like, you know, the high schooler looks down at the kindergartner and is like, hey kid, you know, good job, or whatever, you know, like, or like, you know, I don't know how to explain. It was really sweet. I got teary. I was grinning so big. I still need to tell my husband that happened. And like, even if I tell my husband, or I mean, I'm going to, but even when I tell my husband, like I don't really have anybody to like fangirl about this with, cause like, I don't, like, nobody that I know is into ASMR. Like, I've mentioned it gently to my bestie, and like, she knows what I do and stuff, but like, not really her thing. And then, you know, not my husband's thing. He's even like listened to a couple of my stuff. He listened to a couple of my role plays, which I was very surprised by. He's like, oh yeah, by the hey, you know, I listened to your the first roleplay that I done. He's like, I listened to that. It was really cool, you know. I was like, first of all, I was like slightly embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, you're listening to my stuff. He's like, if you don't want me to, I don't have to. I'm like, no, that's not it. You are the first person that I know who has listened to anything I've done and talked to me about it, because I don't know that any, because like he and my bestie, well, oh, and one other friend, I've mentioned, so he, my bestie, and a dear, faraway friend of mine, they know that I have this channel, and that's it. Of anybody like directly in my life that knows about this, and whether or not the other two have looked at any of the stuffs, like my bestie is like some of the, you know, little like little static posts, a little photo, like attempted and inspirational thought posts that I've done. But I don't think she does much YouTube, so I don't think she's done much along the lines of, you know, looking at the YouTube stuff. And so, well, I think I'd better let it dry and then go at it a little bit more. And so, I have not received like somebody I know feedback from about any of this. And so my husband's like, yeah, listen to that, you know, that was nice, that was kind of cool. What did I say on there? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Am I embarrassed? Do I need to be embarrassed? In my head, I was just going a little bit crazy. Just because I had nobody that I know has... I have not actually, like, I've barely engaged with anybody about any of this. I've had the lovely opportunity of, you know, a couple people have left. Would it be... I feel like it'd be easier to do black after I put the white on, but I don't know. Like, there have been a couple people who've left a little comment or something, and it's just, it's made my day. I can't even tell you. Oh my gosh. But like, again, like, it's been a couple people, and then, you know, none of them are people I know. So that was really, really sweet to find out that my husband is looking at these a little bit. But again, I just don't really have, like, people in my life that do ASMR. So, like, I can't, like, I want to just, about this with somebody that I know, like, face to face, and just fangirl nerd it up with them. I say fangirl because I'm a girl, and I want a fangirl. But, like, it could be a dude. They could be fanboying. It could be non-binary. They could be fan-humaning. I don't know what the non-gendered version of fanboy or fangirl is. And I also know that some of that is, like, indicative of a bit, because I looked it up, literally. Like, what is fangirl? So, or fanboy. So it can be an indicative of being a little obsessive. So, so in the most respectful way possible, not in any obsessive or disrespectful way, I'm super duper fangirling over the fact that UTC Audios was kind enough, gracious enough, sweet enough, just, oh my gosh, so lovely, and left a comment on my little audio. That's just, oh my gosh. Some of that oh my gosh was what I was saying, and some of that oh my gosh was realizing that I'd gone over, well, I mean, the black's gonna easily cover that up, so we're not gonna worry about it. Just, guys, I don't even, so, just so nice, that's just like, and I don't know if it's just the channels that I'm on that I've been lucky enough to find, but like, it's just so nice in the YouTube ASMR community. YouTube's not always very nice to them, but all the artists just seem so nice. They're so kind, and so often it's just like, I just want to provide comfort for people. It's like, thank you, I'm a people. You're providing comfort too. Appreciation. Really admire a lot of people in the ASMR community on YouTube. I really don't love how this just looks very Dalmatian-y to me. Like, see, this was just kind of scattered all over. This is a little bit more, but like a little bit. And this is just Dalmatians, which Dalmatians are cool, sure, don't get me wrong, but like, that wasn't, like, this is polka dot. These are like little art splishes. These are like stars in the sky. These are a little more circly. That looks like polka dots, which again was not the desired effect. It's fine. I'm bugged, but whatever. I'm being much more dainty about this because I think I would have lots of trouble covering up the black paint with the white paint if I go over the line, which isn't a huge issue if I do, but it would be suboptimal. Anyway, the holiday of Dia de los Muertos. Got a little sidetracked. I think it's a lovely holiday, and reading up about it again just was really nice because, you know, in this world of anxieties and scares and ugly stuff and all the things, something that I love, subverted expectation twists that are positive, if that makes sense. And so much of art and literature and tradition paints death as this just terrifying end of all ends. And like, you know, one can see why. But I think it's lovely when we take something that, you know, understandably, or not understandably, that, you know, scares us or creeps us out or whatever, and you make it warm, or you make it cute, or you make it more lovable. And so I really love how Dia de los Muertos, at least for me, does that about death. And just makes it feel like something more real than terrifying. I think that's a lot of what we can find terrifying as humans is uncertainty. And as someone with obsessive compulsive disorder, oh boy, is uncertainty terrifying. Can uncertainty be terrifying? So when we take something that we don't, you know, that is scary, and we either humanize it or we make fun of it, it's an excellent way of coping with it, you know, or we make it warmer somehow, right? Like, there's an incredible artist, Jenny Gia, who does comics that she calls the Grim Reaper. And it's all these comics about how the Grim Reaper is this kind, loving guardian guide to the afterlife. And it focuses on him guiding to peace the souls of little animals who have been abused. And so innocence being protected and comforted and or helped, you know, either protected from horrible stuff or helped out of horrible stuff or comforted after horrible stuff. These are themes that are very, 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 I love, my heart, oh my goodness, yes, I love. So I really just love how she portrays all of it. So again, just that way of humanizing, you know, this Grim Reaper or whatever, you know, making fun of buffoons who run this world, clowns. I will name one. Trump is an idiot and a clown and a cruel, cruel monster. And so seeing things that make fun of him, mwah, chef's kiss, incroyable. beautiful. So proud to be human. Let's see if I can cover up some of these Dalmatian dots. Well, not all of them, wings to fly. Or maybe just soften them a little. Maybe it's just that they're so stark. No, it still looks like a Dalmatian. Okay, let's try and just take away some then. Oh, no, my leaf is a little messed up. It's amazing. And so it's amazing when people make fun of horrible people, like Donald J. Trump. And it's also incredible to me and very just proof of the resilience of the human spirit which that is, as well as turning something that's frightening, like death, taking that and going, well, we don't have to focus on the separation part of it only. We can also reflect on what came before it, the lives that came before it. We can celebrate our ancestors and how they lived and how they loved and how they laughed and how they cried, And I think that's amazing. And I love it. Love. It's from a little online game that my husband plays. A little Matchmasters, anyone? Have you heard of that? It's a funny little game. The thing about this is then I'll just have these like pink dots. Because I'm not doing the whole, just layer. It's all about layers. If I'd like be layering this, then it wouldn't be quite so. But that takes so long, and this video is probably already like 2 weeks long anyway. Just here. When I was young, I had the opportunity to take piano lessons because of a friend of my mom, which was amazing. Very, very grateful for that opportunity. It was quite a gift. The friend of my mom was a piano teacher and ended up with an overinflated opinion of my musical prowess via some little church activity that we participated in, where I had written a parody of a song from a little children's show, and she thought I'd written the melody. And my mom just kind of didn't correct her on that, which I found out years after taking these piano lessons, and I have very mixed feelings about that. I don't wish she hadn't done that, per se, if that would have meant that, I couldn't take the lessons, because taking the lessons was amazing and a huge blessing in my life that I'm quite grateful for. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't love that apparently I was given that opportunity under false pretenses. Cannot say that I love that. Feels a little sticky icky to me, but you know what? Okay. We move along. We look over it. So, being a nervous little tyke and someone who had obsessive compulsive disorder, though we didn't know that at the time, when it came time to, play the little recitals or whatever, I'd get so nervous, and I'd get so overwhelmed, and I'd make mistakes sometimes, gang. Oh no, I'd made mistakes, which just my brain couldn't really process super well. And so something, and I'd freeze up a little. And so something that, I don't know if the piano teacher or my mom coined this, I don't know really which one, was like super responsible for it, and then if they both just tag teamed it or what. But anyway, something that we would repeat a lot to little me preparing for recitals was that the audience, this came from the teacher. This was the teacher, and then my mom just used it a lot at home when I was stressing about preparing. I was like, it was through the ages 11 through 13 that I was able to have these piano lessons. So I wasn't tiny, but I was kind of little. And it was that the audience didn't know how the piece was supposed to go. So if I hit a wrong note, but just recovered and didn't like super react to it, for all the audience knew it was supposed to be there. Now the logic of that isn't infallible, because if anybody in the audience is remotely musical, they'll probably know when a discordant note has been struck. But for that matter, there's a fair amount of harmonic notes that could be struck that weren't part of the intentional, or weren't part of the original composition of the piece, So, it's a toss-up about how true this statement is. It was very comforting to little me, and I kind of took it and ran with it, and it helped later on because through then the rest of my teens, I did a lot of accompanying at church for people, and so it really helped me because I had already practiced not getting tripped up if I made a mistake and like pausing, just letting it go, just flowing on with it. And so that's really important as an accompanist. Like, if you need to just keep on going, like, you just keep going. If you're the accompanist, you keep going. You don't do the pausing kind of thing, because then it throws off the singer, or if it's a duet or whatever, right? So I think that can be applied to lots of things in life, and I have used it before. Like, it can be helpful of kind of thinking your way out of being embarrassed in given situations, where it's like, you know what? That person watching me did not know that was not my plan. Is it likely that they think that was my plan? No, they probably don't think it was my plan to face plant, but they don't know that it wasn't. For all they know, I am a slapstick comedian, and that was all intentional, and I'm having a great time, Like, technically speaking, one's observers do not ever know what one's intent. They can't absolutely, like, oh, was that intentional or not? Who's to say? And so that can be helpful. Sometimes I'll pass that on. It's helped me in social situations before, where something will happen dopey, and I'll just feel so flustered, and I'm like, you know what? For all they know, for all anybody watching me knows, and it's very unlikely that anyone's particularly watching me, but, social anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder being what they are, I'm convinced in whatever moment, okay, somebody's watching me. Again, very doubtful, but someone's watching me. Okay, well, they don't know that wasn't the plan, They don't know what the plan was. So for all they know, that was the plan. And maybe, if that was the plan, it was a really weird plan. But they don't know that it wasn't the plan. They don't know that that wasn't intentional. Which is a little bit of a silly way to approach some social situations that you could feel self-conscious in. But it can be helpful. And I'm telling you right now. Just so you know, word of the wise. Make a memo. Or don't, just ignore it. Or laugh at it. It's fine. Either way. Whatever you want to do with that little tidbit. How is this side going? It's okay. It's okay. I'll be able to fix that much easier with black paint than it would be to fix that on this side. But I'll have to really be careful when I go onto that side to not let it bleed through, because it'll be quite difficult to clean up the paint. Now we've got like charcoal over here today. Yesterday we had hot chocolate over in our little bowl. Today we've got like a black miso soup. There we go. I am absurd. And that's okay. How are we doing over here, folks? Not well. Not well at all. Oh, wings to fly. Why did you do that? Just let them dry. Because the texture. The texture's wrong if they dry like that. The texture. I'm getting tired. Not like tired, like I want to go to sleep. Tired of how I'm trying to change what I've done to this door. What if I just change them to a different color? Ah, me, oh my, oh you. No other guy will do. That is an old song. Yeah, I'm not particularly impressed by this, but you know what? Maybe I'll just try to paint over it all and start again. Yeah, this is not going to go well at all. I don't know. I don't know. But I can try to like even up maybe the pink. Oh well, if this is, you know, sunset representative. The colors of a sunset are variegated a lot of the time. Or variated. What's the word I'm looking for, my friends? I don't know. I want more tea, but that would mean I'd have to get up and make more tea, and that would mean that I'd be leaving you all alone here, which feels a little bit rude. Okay, this is not, I think, producing any of the desired effects. Now it just looks like pale polka dots. Well, then in that case, okay. So then do we just pick different dots? And because the thing that I keep like, okay, so I paint over these dots, but if I don't leave like a little bit of extra texture or whatever going on, like it's really difficult to be certain that those were dots that I was trying to get rid of. Isn't it? I don't know. Because now the little rings around them are like accentuating some of the dots. So that's great. That's fine. That's what we wanted. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what we wanted. Wow, this has been a ramble video. You'd think I'd be like rambling about Dia de los Muertos. But I don't actually have a ton of context for Dia de los Muertos, and I have very few like personal experiences with it. And I could have looked it up more, but I didn't think of that. Like, I can't look it up and paint. So yeah, let's obsess for a second about how we're doing a bad job with this video. That's a good idea, Wings to Fly. That's a good idea. Let's do that. You're making fun of me. No, I am trying to point out rather jauntily that that's not really necessary to do right now. Like, we don't need to stress about it. I didn't think I needed to, I just was. Okay, but like, you know, let's not. You say that as if it's so easy. Oh no, my friend. I say that wishing that it was easy. I know that it's not. I do understand your pain. After all, I am you. I'm just role-playing as if I'm talking to myself. Because, you know, that's normal. That's not weird. Don't worry, little brain. It's not weird at all. Yes, it is. Oy. Still, as we can clearly see, dealing with some of the like, oh well, try not to get a bunch of pink paint on that. Wings to fly. I'm doing so good. I keep wanting to, I keep almost calling myself by my full name. Excuse me, by my real name actually. Not full name, real name. And I've so great this whole video, and I have not a single time. I keep calling myself Wings to Fly. How long is this thing? I can't see the timer. Oh my gosh, we're at like an hour and a half. How long does it take to paint? I was so surprised yesterday that had been like an hour. How long does it take to paint this? Like, do normal people take that long to paint stuff like this? I kind of feel like it makes sense to doubt that it does. I feel like other people would just breeze through this. Now, am I... Because, like, yeah, I'm rambling, and I, like, stop occasionally to, like, gesture, but I'm not doing that a lot, am I? Like, relatively speaking? I don't know. Oh, wow, yeah, no, that didn't help at all. No, I'm continuing to get about this, cheekbone. Nope, that's made it worse. Once again. We made it worse. You go. I've been like rediscovering BTS and it's been great. I knew some of their stuff. I was introduced to them in early 2019 and found a lot of their songs to that point that I really liked. And kind of went from there, watched some of the, I think all actually, of the Run BTS, or at least for the time, Run BTS episodes. And then, like in 2020, I got a different kind of job. I started really working on it. Anyway, I stopped watching as much like TV and movies and stuff. So I didn't like keep up to date on any of the I don't know if the BTS Run episodes, I think they either stopped but there was that like on Disney Plus documentary thing, and then I never watched that. And then the friends that had introduced me to BTS, we just hung out less and less. And so I don't tend to be like, look up a specific artist and listen to their music, because I don't tend to like all the songs from given artists. So I just find songs I like that I'm introduced to, and they become mine. And so that's how because there were some of the BTS songs that they had introduced me to that they were cool, I liked them, but some of them were like, I want to be able to listen to this all the time. And so we're just gonna roll with that. I really want to, come on, we can fix this. I can fix it. Fix it, Felix. From another amazing movie, Wreck-It Ralph. So anyway, I just hadn't really, they weren't there to recommend new BTS songs to me. If you're not familiar with BTS, it is an amazing Korean pop group, so K-pop group, that are just a phenomenon. They are just beyond incredibly talented. They're wonderfully supportive. Their music is incredible. Their dancing is incredible. And by music, I mean their music and lyrics are incredible. There are 7 members. They're each one just to all appearances a very nice person, but also very fun personalities. And they have really great relationships with each other. There's not like the drama that you hear about with different groups and whatever, which, I mean, if you're dealing with that, that's fine. No shade. Drama do be part of life sometimes, but they consider each other brothers and their family and everything. Oh, also, they're Korean, and so Korea has those 3 mandatory years of military service for young men, and they, I think, left for that because a lot of they're starting to come back now. They're all in doing tours and stuff now. So I think they left for that or started leaving for that. It would have been somewhere in 2021 and 2022 for them to have gone and be coming back now. Yeah, so they're all done with their military service, and they're they've been doing different, like, solo things and whatever. And so that was also part of it, is they weren't disbanded, but they just weren't as, like, doing things all together so much. Anyway, so for various and assorted reasons, I hadn't really stayed in the know. One could not call me ARMY. ARMY is the name of BTS fans. Or the fandom name is ARMY. And so no, technically I'm not ARMY. Fidget, messed it up. I'm not, sorry, I don't tend to be that, dedicated to any fandom. But I really, really like this group. And so it's just funny how whatever social media site you're on, things that you like on other different creators that you like on different social media sites, because per algorithms and everything, they're like, oh, well, you liked these things, so you'll probably like this person too. Like on Instagram and on YouTube, creators, I mean, some of them are artists, content creators that I liked during my brief stint on TikTok and would follow have shown up on my feed just magically, because I tend to like stuff that is like each other, and it kind of makes me happy, because a lot of the different ones are like very, very inclusive stuff, very positive, comforting, mental health, awareness, social injustice. Like a lot of it's just it's good stuff. Like that's why I like it. And so anyway, and that's kind of fun. So I really don't love how this polka dot thing came out. Ooh, cool. I've been stuck together. So along the way, on my YouTube feed, BTS popped up, and I was like, oh, no way, because I've never been like I've watched YouTube videos, but it wasn't until like June here that I started you having a YouTube account, and like you being a YouTube a consumer of YouTube stuff, like previously I'd like watch stuff and didn't really worry about like doing it if I was signed in or not. Also, I never really used the app, but then I started listening to the ASMR stuff, and I was like, yeah, the app would be convenient, and then I just kind of went from there. So anyway, yeah, BTS started showing up on my feed, and so that's how I know now that, like, oh, they're off their military service, they're back. And so I was just finding some new songs and finding some old songs that I had liked but had never gotten, to stream, kind of thing. And so yeah, it's been kind of fun, like getting back into the gang and what they doing, and like seeing what things have been the last few years. And like again, they seem like very nice young men who are very good to each other and are just so talented in so many different ways. Just so many different ways. And it's been fun. And so yeah, I've been watching some of their, and again, I, even previously when I enjoyed them, I always enjoyed them, but previously when I was like, more aware of them and what they were doing and whatnot, I, it's kind of working to just do the layers. It's almost like layers are a really good part of achieving the effect you want in painting. It's been really fun. So I'm actually like watching more of their like concert and stuff videos now, because now I'm on YouTube a lot. I have the channel that I have a YouTube channel that I had, or that I created a long time ago. And then when I decided I wanted to try this ASMR stuff, I was like, well, I need a new channel, because and literally part of it was I wanted to make it Wings to Fly. Like that's, and I wanted it to have a specific name. And 2, I knew that if I did these videos, I'd want to be able to have playlists. And meanwhile, I have playlists on my YouTube channel that's just all, you know, comfort that'll help you get to sleep, comfort for when you're on your cycle, comfort for when you're feeling depressed, comfort for when you're feeling anxious. Like, just so many very specific types of comfort audio playlists. And then I've also got ones that are like, you know, fantasy story one-shots, fantasy story series, just so many different ones. And so I was like, okay, even if because you can decide whether or not playlists are public or private, I'm like, even if I make only the ones that are of my videos public, like, it'll still confuse me to see all of it. Because you can also change your channel name, but I also wanted to have an email address that was Wings to Fly. So yeah, I almost just changed the channel name, and then I was like, no, I want to have a channel-specific email address, and just for a variety of other reasons, I just created an entirely new YouTube channel to do my ASMR stuff. So I bounce back and forth, and I try, like, because, like, I try to, oh wait, I need to be subscribed to these people also on my Wings to Fly channel, and I've been trying to, like, kind of leave comments and stuff a little bit more. I'm much more of a, a social media lurker than not. Okay, now what do I want to do with this? Do I want it to just be like that? That's kind of pretty, and then just have the doors be what's going insane on the front of it. Because the fun thing about the doors is I can, like, switch them out to be, oh, hi, there's lots of paint on there. Well, there's not a lot, but it was enough to be a good way. Because I was going to do, like, really do like that on the outside, and then you open it up, and this is kind of, yeah. Or do I want that, and then open it up like that. Maybe like that, because, like, presumably this you'll more have it be open to see the picture inside, right? Yeah, I don't know that I want much more going on with this. I kind of just like the whole kind of contrast thing of it. So yeah, I have 2 YouTube channels. I don't really comment with the original one. I am much more of a social media lurker than not. Mostly because I get so much anxiety about what to say. Like when I was replying to the UTC audio comment that he so kindly left, I stressed about it for like 20 minutes and proceeded to just finally be like, okay, Wings to Fly, just post it. You're obsessing over this. And so I posted it, and I don't like it. I want to change it. I'm like, no, I need to say it different. I need to phrase it differently. It's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I might change it, but we'll see. Meanwhile, I'm trying to just let it be. So that's one of the reasons I tend to be a bit of a social media lurker. Another reason is didn't grow up with social media, and grew up with a very no attitude about it. So it took me some time to get onto social media. And so I still get scared about leaving a social media footprint. Mostly just, it's just the anxiety. Like, what if I say something that's wrong or hurts somebody or is stupid or whatever? And it's like, okay, Wings to Fly, you tend to be friend-shaped, so you're probably not going to say anything that would hurt anybody. Like, you know, usually it's the people who are worried about being nice who don't usually. I was gonna say that, but that would only apply if I was talking about somebody else. Not if I'm talking about me. No. I can't. I literally can't. No, don't make me. Don't take away my double standard. Come on, guys. Poor me. Oh, life is so hard, gang. But anyway, so yeah, I do have 2 YouTube channels, and I just, the one is like the one that I'm on like every day, and you know, listen to my ASMR stuff. And then I'm trying to do it where like, oh yeah, if I want to listen to a video again from a channel, to try and remember, oh, do that on the Wings to Fly channel, so it can show like multiple channels engaging with people's videos, and you know, be, you know, supportive or whatever in that way. Which then I'm like, because yes, I am subscribed to Wings to, I'll admit it, I'm subscribed to Wings to Fly channel on my personal account, and I do, if I remember, like my own videos, and yeah, it feels weird, but it is kind of a means of like the goal is to engage with it. So, because I looked this up, I was like, should I like my own videos, like as a, like, should I as Wings to Fly like videos of Wings to Fly? Isn't that kind of weird? And it was like, well, it's not weird, and it can be a means of like showing the algorithm that is being engaged with, and therefore it might make it pop up more for people. And though I am pretty much doing this just as a means of doing things that I like and getting inspired to do the things that I like, because I'm doing them with the perspective of other people being able to enjoy and listen to them or see them, you know, it's been nice if like people were able to see them. So yes, it does embarrass me a little bit. I am and then I did it, and then I messed it up again. I give up. That's it. We're done. Fine. Be that way. You want to be out over there, Joe? Okay, cool. You get to be out there. Cool. You won. You win. It's all good. I think that'll be the back, and then this, because this seems to... Oh, or when I switch it out, this is what will be. And then when I have like this is what it'll be. Or do I prefer that? And then that. Oh, actually, I might like that a little bit better. And then that. I can have fun with it, because it'll all be double-sided. Trolla. I just don't know that I want any more on here. I just kind of like the stark contrast, and then because the little designs already kind of do it. And I mean, and already we've seen how much I love how my tendency to put little blips all over stuff. We've seen how that works out real well for me. We've seen how just being free and lighthearted about putting little blips of color on something, just, you know, it's not like it ends up affecting my life conversely to whatever minor extent at all. No. I love some of the Neko videos. They're so cute. They're such cute little voices. They're weird. Like some of them, I have to do like different ones, because when it's like, you find a little Neko and you adopt them, and they're like Nick's Moon Reads did a really, really sweet one. And it was the first time I listened to an ASMR Neko one, and it was really sweet. His little Neko character. It was a script from a public script on, I think, Reddit. And the little Neko character was like, oh, sad and kind of hurt because you've been hurt and everything. And I had to look up what a Neko was, because they had like little ears, and I was like, oh, cool. So they're like a little demi-human, like a centaur or a satyr or something. So I had to look it up, and that was an experience. Sometimes you need to be careful about things you look up. But anyway, I looked it up. Everything's on a spectrum, folks. And there are safe for work versions of things, and there are not safe for work versions of things, and we'll leave it there. But anyway, I found out what Nekos are. And also emus, that's the puppy one, right? So I was like, oh, okay, so this is it's either play acting like this, or it's like a little demi-human thing. I was like, okay, cool, this is fun. Like, I love it. But like in that video, the little first one, it was like, he referenced my old master, and I was like, huh? Because that wasn't what I'd understood looking at this up before because I was like, what's an echo? I don't know that I want to click on this video without knowing what an echo is. And so when I looked it up, I was like, wait, I thought this was like a relationship thing. Like, what's with that? And so I looked, anyway. So then I found out, okay, so it kind of depends on your universe. Neckos and Inus, they can be pets, or they can be demi-humans, or they can be magic, or they can be not, or it's like vampires and werewolves. It's like any other like fantasy creature. It absolutely depends on your universe. So like, I really like the ones where it's like you're in a relationship or whatever. I don't really get the one, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different like takes on it, and that's great because that means everybody gets to have what they enjoy. And anyway, I think that the boyfriend, girlfriend, or adopt not like a pet, but as like a younger brother or sister Neko ones are fun. Because it's just a little funny for me for it to be a pet and sapient. Like, sentient, I mean, yeah, like I think I've already probably ranted about this, but like I found out the whole difference between like sentient and sapient, and so my whole like calling like reasoning sentient is a way to describe like humans or demi-humans or whatever, but a bit better or a bit more explanatory approach to saying that is to say sapient versus sentient, which is they're alive, they're a living being who has emotions and can think to whatever extent but can't really reason, versus sapient, who can think and can feel but can't, but also can reason. So it's just a little bit weird to me to have a sapient pet, but like that's super 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 cool if that's like your thing, and you want to do that. It always kind of takes me a little bit by surprise when I realize that it'll be like, oh, Neko this, and it's like, oh, Nekos are cute, and then I'll open it up and it'll proceed to be like one of the ones where the Neko is a pet, and it's like, oh, hi, cool, probably not. Then I'll go find a Neko who, because that's something that gets addressed in the one that Nick Spoon Reads did, is the little Neko was a pet previously and then was abandoned, which is horrifying, and so expects to be a pet by you, the listener, or to be because you, the listener, find them and take them in and you help them and his little leg is hurt and it's so sad, and so they expect to be your pet now. But as a listener, you're like, apparently, per the continuing dialogue from Nick Spoon Reads, you're like, no, you just live here now, kind of thing, kind of, big sister, little Neko sibling energy, and it's just really sweet, and I just love it. And well, at first I thought they were going to become like date, and then anyway, I got confused when I was first listening to it, but then I think it's one of those where you can like kind of determine whether or not you've adopted them as like a little sibling, or whether they end up becoming your significant other. Either way, I think it's kind of open to interpretation, and I think that's nice. But yeah, so that, like I say, that was when I first was like, oh, so apparently some people keep these Nekos as pets, but I thought that was like, oh, so that's the mean people. Oh, no. It's just one of the approaches that you can take if you have Nekos in your universe. It's like, oh, okay, cool, I can work with that. And so But like I say, I always get a little bit thrown by the idea of having a sapient being as a pet that just doesn't, like, it's not my vibe as much, I guess. But again, totally cool if, because on the one hand, like, again, not my vibe. On the other hand, like, that is a reason why, like, I'm terrified of having children and do not want pets. Because I'm scared of the communication barrier. And, like, at least with children, eventually, and to whatever extent, the communication barrier, it disappears and improves. Like, you can eventually, like, communicate with these little small humans that you bring into this world. Versus, I get a dog or a cat. Also, I'm slightly allergic. But, like, I get a dog or a cat, I can't, like, communicate with them. I'll be able to, like, I cannot talk with them. I can communicate with them to whatever extent, but I can't talk with them. Which means that if they're hurting or they're sad or something's going on, I'm going to have to deduce what needs to be met. And I find that a little terrifying because I don't have incredible faith in my deduction skills. You know? So that would be solved, though, if they were sapient. Oh, cool, I can now communicate with you, little cat. But just the thing with that is then, like, I don't know. What do you want to be doing with your life? Like, do you want to be a pet? Because if that's the case, then yay, I'll adopt you. But again, like, if they're sapient, I'd want to adopt them more like a little sibling, like, or as a child, like if they were, far enough away in age to me, adopt them as a child, raise them to be a happy, healthy, strong Neko, and proceed. Wow, I'm rambling so much. You ever have those, like, observation self moments where you just suddenly go, oh my gosh, how am I still talking about that? I don't know. This is going to be like a 2-hour video, and it's literally just me obsessing over little different things about painting this little shadow box. Yeah. Oh well, I'm having fun. And this probably isn't something that I would have done if I weren't making a video. Like, that's part of why I really enjoy doing this channel, and why I, like, even though I continue to have my moments of, why am I doing this? When I have those moments, I just remember, like, oh yeah, because if I do this, then I get to do these things that I like doing that I don't really, like, take the time to do unless, like, there's at the very least the concept of somebody else involved. So thank you for existing as a concept in my mind so that I can have the fun of painting this little shadow box. It gives off I don't really do crafts, but once I have kids, I will invite them to do crafts, and if they like it, I'll make sure they have crafting opportunities, and we shall do all sorts of little fun crafty things as a family. Vibes. It really gives off that vibe. I think I continue to just touch up parts with the white paint that I then mess up a little bit, and so then I have to go back and, like, touch up parts with the black paint. It's just the never-ending story over here, which I've never seen, and which, when I saw in, like, movie rental stores as a child, the little fluffy white animal thing scared me. Which I'm pretty sure was the opposite intended effect, because I think it's friend-shaped, isn't it? But as a child, I was unconvinced of that. as my leaves continue to get skinnier and skinnier per my erratic brush strokes. You know, now that they're... Oh wow, that area just continues to struggle because I keep interrupting it from drying. Maybe with it being so much paler, I'm a little more okay with there being this many. Like, maybe I don't need to, like, go through and... It'll be interesting to see this in, like, real light, because at the moment I just have this, like, reading lamp over here lit, which I know distorts the colors somewhat. Because, like, I can see this is green, but in this lighting it does not appear as much of a vibrant green as I know it is. So there's that. But then one also has to question, like, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for the channel. Would that be better? Dummy dish. Would that be better if I weren't spending, at this point now, probably, is the video now like 2 hours? Would it have been better if I hadn't spent 3 hours of my life on this? I ask you this. I'm getting tired. Not so much like I want to go back to sleep, but like I'm really, as I've expressed previously, I'm really tired of like trying to fix the fact that I turned this into a pink Dalmatian. Because then, of course, in my brain it's like, well, did I need to fix it? I probably didn't even need to fix it. I'm just wasting time. I'm wasting people's time. It's like, no, don't patronize people. If there's anybody still watching this, it is because they want to or because they fell asleep listening to it. And, you know, I'm obviously nobody's going to be watching this who doesn't want to be or who didn't fall asleep during it. Okay? So I can relax my instincts of a hyper responsibility there. I'm not wasting anybody's time. Okay, cool. Well, what about your time? Are you wasting your time? Very possibly. But you know what? I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Part of the brain that has OCD? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because you never have fun. That's literally the struggle. So just chill out. Come on. Let's have some fun. We're painting away the Dalmatian dots. This door is going to be so much more pink than I thought. Well, maybe I could do like, did I already mention this? I think I already had this idea. Maybe I could do like a little cover of the white over it. Make it a little lighter. I don't know. We're either going to cancel out the Dalmatian effect or we're going to run out of pink paint. Because we're getting low on it. We're getting a little bit closer to it being a little more what I want, which is not to look like a Dalmatian. Like 101 Dalmatians, great movie. 101 Dalmatians, terrifying book. I actually don't know if it was terrifying. I just know that when I was very young, I tried reading it and was promptly terrified. Because, big surprise, of Cruella de Vil and of her, like, ancestral backstory. Terrifying. It's a British children's book, so of course, super dark. Like, holy fracking cannoli. You know, this might be close to being good. Like, let those little texture bits, like, kind of dry up. Put one more little swab of paint over it to try and like smooth out the fact that there are little texture bits. Okay, this I think. Do I want to try any more covering of this with the white? I kind of don't think so, because I don't think it's going to help. It seems dry. It seems dry. Okay. One more. One more. That's it. No more. And then we're done. Partly because there's like a little black speck there. Or a little red speck there. And no. I don't want there to be a little black or a little red speck there. I'd be way more okay if it was a little black speck there. Oh yeah, let's just brush away how we're trying to cover up the little red dot. Partridge in a big pear tree. Straight No Chaser, a fantabulous acapella group. Of course I like an acapella group. I'm a nerd. What do you think? I didn't know that that was like a thing. Apparently, you know, acapella groups are like, oh, that's nerdy. I was like, oh, one more way in which my nerdy nerdiness announces itself. I like acapella. That's a nerd thing? Huh. Well, didn't realize that acapella was a particularly, you know, nerd-centric form of music. Or form of music performance, let us say. But, am I surprised? Not necessarily, because I like it. And a lot of what I like tends to be kind of nerdville stuff. Okay, it's official. I'm done. No, that's it. If I ever want to come back and add a few dabs of paint to that, that's cool. We're done. That's it. Fini. The end. I kind of want, for now, this one to be close in front. I'm like reaching across the table. Oh no. Does it not fit now because of all the paint? Great job, Wings to Fly. Great job. Oh no. I don't think it does. Come on, it's okay. I can do this. We can do this. Oh, the little top of that doesn't look that great. We can do this, little friend. Ha 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 ha. We did it. I don't know that that's ever going to be changed now. So, and then yeah, I was thinking of doing green in there, but there's a lot of like orange there, and as we've now clearly seen, it doesn't really work to do a ton of overlay in there. I don't know that I'm going to use much more orange anywhere, so why not? The fun thing about this is I've got all this like paint left, which is kind of fun. I kind of like the insides of this being orange, because then, because the photo in here is to be that of a loved one who has passed on, right? And so it's like, the orange part is, so the fact that orange is so associated as a color with Day of the Dead decorations is because of the marigolds, which are in the marigold petals path, which are used in Day of the Dead decorations and celebrations, specifically because they're such a bright color. Like, it's to guide the dead back to their families, you know, to their to the ofrendas for the holiday, right? And so I like that because it's like I've got like anybody's picture or pictures that are in here will be like them. It's like representative of them like resting on a bed of marigold petals. Isn't that so fun? I think it's fun. My family's not very family-ish, so I don't have photos of my ancestors at all. But my husband's family is more, we will say normal in that regard. We won't say normal. We will say less dysfunctional in that regard. And so they have photos of their loved ones who have passed on. Ancestors who have passed on, like even if they didn't know them personally. So you can be a loved one even if you didn't know them personally, right? Sure, why not? And so, oh, that's a piece in my hair. For this to end up having any photos in it of anyone who has passed on, is going to be a picture of my husband's grandparents. Because I don't have any. And I wouldn't particularly want to display my grandfather because he was racist. And like I'm not, God, you know, God, as I said in the previous video, talking about some of the stuff, that's between him and his God, not between him and me. But it's a little hard for me to like celebrate someone like that. He also abused my mother terribly because he's my paternal grandfather, and so she just like still idolized the man. Incredible to me. And so yeah, I have a lot of trouble with him personally, and I've always not understood why my mom idolized him. And so yeah, he's not somebody that I really want to have like a celebratory photo of up in my house. So it probably works out that I don't have any photos of him whatsoever. So, you know what? That's all cool. That's so cool. Like, poor man. He had a dreadful time of it himself. His father was horribly abusive. He was less abusive to his children than his father was to him. So, you know what? He broke cycles. My mom broke cycles. I'm breaking cycles. We all out here just breaking cycles like champs. Still, like, he didn't break a lot of cycles that I just can't understand how you wouldn't have been like, maybe I should break that cycle, you know? And so I kind of have a hard time with him. Like, my maternal grandmother, also a hurt person who hurt my mother. But like, just kind of in less, oh my gosh, she did what sort of ways than like for my maternal grandfather, where you're like, he did what to you and your siblings? Like physical and emotional abuse. Not the other horrifying kind of abuse. So blessedly, not that. Blessedly not that. But still, on many levels, an abusive human being. And I just kind of don't like that. I don't like people like that. So may he have gotten the help he needed, because he had not, by all accounts, before he died. Very much, my family's very much like an example of how true it is that hurt people hurt people. As I think many families are, you know, it's certainly not specific to mine. And there's so many people. I'm very blessed by how many of the cycles that my mom and dad broke. They broke loads of cycles of generational trauma and abuse, and I am incredibly grateful to them for that. Were there still stuff that they were working on? Yeah. Do I still talk about some of this stuff in therapy? Occasionally. But like, I was never physically abused by my parents. There was some emotional stuff going on because there was some emotional regulation that was being struggled with, but I was never physically abused by either of them. And I will thank them for that forever. So, you know, we got better with each generation, and my plan is to, with my generation, keep trying to make things better. It feels kind of plain in all the parts that don't have all the blah, 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 blah going on, but then I'm like, no, if I wanted more blah, blah, blah going on over here, I'd have to decide what it was going to be. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Na, 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 na. The thing about families is they're like ogres, which are like onions, because they have layers. To very much paraphrase Shrek, which I've only, as I think I've said before, seen a couple times, and I need to see again. I love the concept of the movie. I don't love some of the like humor approach of the movie because I'm very easily grossed out. I have a bad gag reflex. But like, you know, that's cool. Like, you know, we all do our own thing. We all can enjoy our own thing in our own way. But I love the concept of Shrek, like just the story of Shrek. That's my kind of story. Also, the musical's amazing. Some of the songs, oh, chef's kiss. Build Me a Wall is one that I rock out to when I'm feeling particularly depressed. Families have layers. Families have a lot of well-intentioned people in them. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's really annoying, because if you're a self-aware, well-intentioned person, you're easier to talk to when your good intentions have fallen short of having the effect that by all appearances you must have wanted. You know, you must have wanted people to not be super negatively affected by you, right? We can assume that that's like, you know, how people be rolling, right? Right. But while it's very helpful for our own sanity to keep in mind that, you know, people are doing their best, and, you know, we all make mistakes, and we want to show people the grace that we'd like them to show us, and all the things. It's also very important to keep in mind that we only have so many days on this planet. As humans, we only have so much of anything. Be it days on the planet, energy, resources. Humans are not immortal, and we do not have endless supplies of anything. And so, it's just something to consider whether or not you want to spend any of your not infinite resources on anything. Whether that's anything as a human being, whether it's obsessing over how a door to a little ofrenda that you painted turned out, there would be people who would say that this was a waste of time. And I don't know that I disagree with that. Is it just that the... Try an experiment. Break off a little bit. Oh my gosh, is that part of the problem? Is that what part of the problem has been over here? The little dots, the little black dots themselves weren't dry. Oh wow, and then it went to that. Wow. Wow, that's very explanatory to what was going on over here. It's also really annoying for what was going on over here. Wow, okay, so... I don't know exactly how to... I don't know how to fix this. I don't think of trying to wipe off any of the black. That might have had a better effect than some of the other stuff I've attempted. Okay, well that's good. Now that we've gotten rid of that little everything going on, now that we know, yeah, I'm cool with that now. It's not as polka dotty. People are like, oh, be patient with your family members. Good. Just also make sure that you're being patient with yourself. Oh, you need to be gracious. Cool. Also make sure that you are being treated with grace. Because if you aren't, then that's not a healthy relationship that you're in. If you're not being treated with grace by someone who is refusing to admit that fact, you're not in a healthy relationship. Or refusing to see your point of view on that fact, you know? Well, you gotta forgive people. It's helpful for healing. You don't have to do it. And what people get mixed up is they think that forgiving people means, oh, well, you gotta forgive and forget. That only works if the thing that you're forgiving is no longer being done, or is being really, really worked on to never be done again, you know? That doesn't work. You can't forgive and forget if someone keeps reminding you of what you had to forgive them for in the first place, because they keep treating you in those ways, you know? You know? Can't forgive and forget at that point, because they keep bringing it fresh back into your memory. So, yeah, food for thought. If you're going to be working on forgiving people, don't forget to forgive yourself, too. Telling you right now. Don't forget that, my little lovelies. Don't forget that. It's kind of important. You deserve grace, too. And sometimes people have acted so ungraciously toward other human beings that they kind of, the social contract of, you know, giving everybody grace, it's broken, you know? You know, like, you know, someone that I may have mentioned earlier, Donald Trump. Like, some people have just trespassed on other people's rights and being just so much that it's reached a point where it's like, no, that social contract has been broken. Because the thing is, if I treat you with grace, the social contract, you know, the expectation is that you're going to treat me with grace. And when time and time again someone has proven that they don't treat me with grace, or, you know, in the case of so many other people in power right now, who do not, do you even understand what treating people with grace would look like? Do you know? Do you understand? I'm gonna put these in here because that's cute. Yeah. At a certain point, you don't. First of all, you never have to give anybody grace. But at a certain point, like, you can, with a clear conscience, stop giving people grace because they have indicated that they care nothing for the social contract of giving others grace. Okay, cool. Well, if you don't care about that, then why would I extend it to you? You've indicated that this does not matter in your sphere. That to you, this does not matter. Okay, cool. Well, then why would I, why would I act as if it does? I ask you this. Oh, these are all... Uh-oh, I have found an anomaly. These are all green. This one isn't green at all. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this one last little thing so that they can all be matchy-matchy, because that's kind of fun. Not particularly necessary or relevant, but it's kind of fun. If someone else deserves kindness, then so do you. Because you're both humans. If someone else deserves to be protected from abuse and injustice, then so do you. And the someones who are perpetrating the abuse and injustice, when we are so far past the first offense, when this has been proven time and time and time and time and time again, that they do not care about certain social ethics or mores or just realities, moral truths, whatever you want to call it. Oh, okay, you don't care about the fact that human beings have rights. Well, maybe you need to be somewhere where you can't affect other people's rights. And that might mean that your rights end up being somewhat limited, but you kind of chose that because you didn't care about other people's rights, You indicated, if we treat others how we want to be treated, it would seem that you don't care about being treated respectfully. I think there are ways of respectfully dealing with people who are not treating others respectfully that they might not consider respectful. But, to me, maybe they'd have to be restricted to a certain extent. Incarceration comes to mind. Maybe we could incarcerate them instead of all those who are in prison due to racial profiling. Just an idea. Social contracts are a thing. The social ethics, the social the social goodnesses, I don't know what you'd call them, just what is socially acceptable and what is not. It's pretty established that killing people isn't socially acceptable. It's not acceptable when you're around other people. Okay, so if someone keeps doing that, then maybe we need to help them be in a position where they can't then do that to other people, And I think that's, the same with others who are violating human rights, which human rights to me, protecting human rights is pretty much can go, not that this encapsulates all of it, but I think a lot of it comes under the banner of don't take something from someone else without their permission. If you do not take something from someone else without their permission, you're, generally speaking, respecting their human rights. Just saying, be that whatever it is, freedom, they're stealing, murdering, not to be triggering, but why is it that talking about offing somebody is something that's on social media we just say that in different ways, but there's something pretty terrible that you can do to people where there's still alive afterwards, but they're haunted and, possibly forever, which is pretty awful. So I'm going to assume that you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to trigger anybody. So, anyway, got onto a very kind of dark tangent over there, but I wanted to make sure and kind of cover, I sidetracked kind of from how I was talking about how families are complicated, and they come in all sizes and shapes and colors and creeds, and like families are complicated. And so I wanted to mention that as I was, doing a little video about celebrating a holiday that is about, very much about families and everything. Maybe, like me, you don't have anybody personal to put inside a little shadow box like this. But you can find people who are. I can, my husband's wonderful family. I have other found family, friends, and dear ones. Which isn't to say that, like, my family's awful. It's just to say I don't have anybody who has passed on that I would want to memorialize, particularly. And so, that being the way it is for me, I know that that's the way it is for other people, I'm sure. So, you could put any loved one in here, maybe that has passed on, I could put Frederick Douglass in here. He's not my family member, but I admire him, and I think he's awesome, and, I think it'd be cool to, do a little kind of memorial thing for him. You can make things work for you in a way that isn't fighting to live up to expectations that either are somebody else's or yours that you've been socialized into having. You don't have to conform if conforming is hurting you. You don't have to forgive and forget if to do so means that you then stay with the people who have been hurting you and you end up getting more hurt. No. Take care of my little goblin friends, okay? Protect yourselves. Believe in me that believes in the yous who can protect yourselves. And we can use this little artistically decorated little shadow boxes, proof of how we can do what we want with what we've been given in ways that where nobody gets hurt and where we get to have fun and do things the way that we want to. I don't think that it would make sense to assume that anybody would paint their little shadow box exactly like this. And so I did it my way, and nobody got hurt, and everything was fun. And there are people who would think this is atrocious and ugly, and why would you do it that way, and would have so many rude things to say about it. But you know what? I did it the way I wanted to. I had fun. Nobody got hurt. They can shut up. The end. So, be yourselves. Find people in your lives that don't hurt you, because that's very important. And aim, at the very least, if not right now, aim to distance yourselves from those who hurt you and who refuse to talk about it, who refuse to have dialogue around that, who refuse to rectify it. Protect yourselves. Show yourselves that love. Create that kind of distance. Create the kind of distance between you and that, if you can. That will help you thrive and be able to create and live and do with what you've been given, what you'd like, and what will, make you happy or seem okay at the time, and whatever. Happy Dia de los Muertos, my little friends. Please take care of yourselves. Rock on. And loves, my little lovelies.